My name is Chief Strongler. I am St. Vincent and Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora magician. My people, all in all, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's freedom. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you re-enslaved the African American, the Latinos, etc.? All in all, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed my protest. There is nothing particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention as it relates to my protest. And as you know, when I have protested, and when I have updated you as to what transpired while I protested, it is always my pleasure and my delight to bring to your attention something of a social nature as it relates to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My people have found the evidence to debunk another of Ralph Gonsalves' big, dirty, fat lies. Do you remember when Ralph Gonsalves introduced you guys to the cocoa farmers? And he said that these white men are going to purchase your cocoa. As long as you can produce it, they are going to purchase it. He deceived many farmers, had those farmers working tirelessly to clear their lands, to plant cocoa, and for 3 years, they nurtured their cocoa like if it was a baby. As soon as the cocoa produced their first crop, the white men said they can't do business in St. Vincent and the Grenadines because they have not planted the required amount of acreage of cocoa that they wanted. Only to find out that Ralph Gonsalves, in his wickedness, brought hired actors to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to deceive our people. And Ralph Gonsalves watched as those poor farmers invest money they don't have, money they can't waste, into producing cocoa, knowing that there is no market for those cocoa. And when we found out the investors disappear in thin air, Ralph Gonsalves and supporter Caesar made up an excuse and says the cocoa purchases, the acreage was not enough, so they can't do business in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Remember, Ralph Gonsalves and these same people signed an agreement. What value was that agreement? It has no value whatsoever. Next thing, Ralph Gonsalves brought the white men again and said these are going to be marijuana farmers. Many unemployed Vincentians look forward to getting a farming job with these white men. Up in thin air like a magician, the white men disappear, another batch of actors. Then Ralph Gonsalves bring to us a fellow called Mr. Stewart, who was supposed to be a hotelier working with the Sandals group. This man said he, on behalf of Sandals, they are going to build a 360-room hotel and they are going to employ 2,000 people. I brought to you the information. I show you the Western Bonaventure in Los Angeles, California, that has 1,358 rooms and employs 601 workers. The Western Bonaventure has 4 times the amount of rooms that this Sandals Beaches is going to have. But Sandals Beaches was going to employ 330% more workers than the Western Bonaventure. Ralph Gonsalves told you that the Holiday Inn people are coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to invest in a hotel. I brought the information to you that this was a lie because Ralph Gonsalves borrowed monies from the CARICOM Development Fund to build a structure that was supposed to be the Holiday Inn. And after I brought that information to the public, Ralph Gonsalves, he couldn't do anything but to know, like a sheep, hand over the hotel to the Holiday Inn people to manage. I did not hear anything else about that hotel. Let me know what is happening to the hotel that Falcon SARS borrowed the money from the CARICOM Development Fund and bill and then hand over to the Holiday Inn. Tell me in the comments what happened to that enterprise. I tell you that Holiday Inn and Sandals is not going to invest their good monies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Not that we're not beautiful, not that our people are not ambitious and hardworking, but the fact is that we have an active volcano which can erupt at any time. This makes predicting profitability of the hotel unpredictable. And we also lie in the hurricane belt. The hurricane season takes up at least 8 months of the year. A hurricane can strike at any time. So therefore, Sandals, a Holiday Inn, is not going to invest their good monies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And as I said, not because we're not beautiful, not because we're not ambitious and hardworking, not because we cannot do it, but because of the unpredictability of St. Vincent and the Grenadines being in the hurricane belt and having an active volcano. It is because of the Douglas, Anel Roberts, and Kamala Prasad Processor who put pressure on Rowley that prevented Rowley from borrowing $1 billion US to give to Sandals as an investment. Yes.
Bunch of buffoons who try to fool people. Let me give you it here once again. Remember, over the years since 2017, the PNM has been telling you that the opposition UNC and the Douglas and Anil Roberts on radio and so on run Sandals investment away from Tobago. They denied Tobago the investment in hotel investment money, Sandals. Remember that? Up to now, they're still in the Senate, one by one, continuing to lie. The truth was, and still is, that Sandals was not spending 1 red cent in Tobago. That the PNM was going to borrow money, $7 billion. I thought it was $1 billion. Then a noted, learned person in the construction industry called me and said, with knowledge, Anil, you're doing very well, but it's not $1 billion TT, it's $1 billion US that the PNM was going to borrow to give Sandals land from Tobago, design the hotel, build the hotel, and you, the taxpayers, would have to pay it back. And I did research and I said, but where in the world does a government borrow money to build a hotel for a corporation that is involved in the tourism industry? And I searched. There were over 12,692 hotels being built at that time in 2017, 2018. Do you know how many were being built across the globe with taxpayers' money? You have it correct. 0.
Sandals understand the political system in the Caribbean. They realized that Rowley wanted a big project to try to get re-elected. And the Sandals was going to force Rowley to borrow the money, $1 billion US, so that he can boast about Sandals coming to Trinidad and Tobago, hiding the fact that it was Trinidad and Tobago's investment. Look at the timeline, 2017. The project was crushed. 2018-19, we hear Sandals coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 2020, the government is stealing the land on behalf of the project.
For me alone, me not sell my land. But then, like I'm saying, I cannot get into the way of the development of the nation. So all I'm saying, it just dealt with me equal rights and justice, and I am gone. So the crisis start again, where the government again moving in Panay and I take away an island, because the kind of deal that them trying to offer, as you see, many of us might see it in the papers, $10 a square foot. I mean, that had to be joke. This piece of art here is everything. I've been here for 28 years. And this is everything I ever had, everything I ever owned. How do you just come without any prior notice to uproot people who've been creating their livelihood in this area, whether or not you want to transplant them? But we can't do these things like that, disregarding what I have to say.
And that is because the government were responsible for providing the land as was supposed to happen in Trinidad and Tobago. And they were supposed to provide the monies to ensure that Sandals get the Government resort to a state where they think it is good enough to carry the Sandals name. What I would like to know is which financial institution Ralph Gonsalves borrowed these monies from to give the Sandals company to start the Sandals resort. How much he borrowed and at what interest rate? This man is a sick puppy. He lies for nothing. He lies for everything. And the unfortunate thing is, there are so many Vincentians that hang their hats on Ralph Gonsalves' lie and go to sleep at night. My name is Chief Strongland. I am St. Vincent the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I'm the diaspora machismo. Remember to like this video, share this video, leave a comment on this video, let me know what are your thoughts as to what was said here. There are many more videos like this right here. Go peruse those videos and let me know what are your thoughts about these videos. Remember to like or subscribe based on which social media platform you're viewing this from. And I will talk to you on Friday.